Hey everybody, this is Mike McWims, Upstairs to the Right Music. Today, I'd like to do a little bit of a different kind of tone test. This is snow. So, it's pretty common stuff, comes down, around this time of year. Actually, it's a little late this year. But I'd like to see the effects of snow on the tone of your guitar. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to see if, now I know that this is an Epiphone, so the wood quality is not as good as a Gibson, so there may be a little bit of difference in how this snow affects the tone of this guitar. But anyway, we're going to give it a try today, and we'll see how it goes. Coming right up. Hey everybody, Mike McWims, Upstairs to the Right Music. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. This Sunday, 2 p.m. Pacific Coast Time, 5 p.m. East Coast Time, and 11 p.m. European Central Time, I will be having a live stream finally. I have given up on trying to use either one of these Macs in the house to do it. Instead, I'm just going to use my cell phone for now. I bought a little stand and I, put the lights on it, and it should be okay. I don't know how the audio quality will be, but for a first real attempt and a first live stream, I think it'll be all right. So if you have the time during your busy days on this Sunday to drop in, I would really appreciate it. All right, on to today's subject. This week we saw the passing of Foo Fighters drummer Taylor Hawkins. He died while on tour of a drug overdose. Now, obviously today's show is not about the effects of snow on your tonewoods. By the way, that's a little bit of an April Fool's. No, the subject today is a cautionary tale. In the last 5 years, I've seen Prince, George Michael, Taylor Hawkins. I mean, I could go down the list of a lot of cats that were really big in the music industry that passed away from drug overdoses. And I'm getting kind of tired of it because it's very heartbreaking to see the effects afterwards that it has on your family, your wife, your kids, your friends, your band members, and society in general, the people who truly loved you and enjoyed your art. So I'm going to talk about the passing of Taylor as a cautionary tale. When I was in the studio system in Los Angeles, and I was deep in the studio system in Los Angeles, I never saw any drugs in the studios. I never saw anybody even pull out a joint in the studios. Now, I saw a little bit of drinking, actually a lot of bit of drinking in the recording studios, but I never saw any hard drugs. I never saw any of that stuff. A lot of people that I'm working with, of course, were consummate professionals, but they were top tier people as well, and I just didn't get the impression from them that was something that was happening. So I never adopted it. I never got into it. And none of my producer friends, my engineer friends that I knew of, at least publicly that I saw, were into it as well. We just stayed away. We stay away from drugs. Now, I look back over my career and I realized how fortunate I was to be in those situations that were very professional and left that impression upon me to not even get started with that. Back in the 40s and 50s, the musicians in New York, Miles Davis and Charlie Parker, cats like that, they all thought that if they shot heroin, it would make them play better. They could hear music better. Well, that's just a fallacy. All it did was make them play sloppier and eventually led to their untimely demises. In a lot of cases, a lot of those jazz musicians back in the day. If you carry that forward into the 60s with Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison, shall I go on? You see, and then I get into the 70s. You guys, this thing with getting into drugs and letting that, there's a lot of pressure, of course, in the industry. Even at the level that I was at, the pressure was there, but never once did I feel the need to relieve that pressure by doing drugs. So I guess today's message is a little bit of a PSA. Living here in Amsterdam, I'm hardly the last person to talk about drugs. I walk down the street and you can smell, weed just about everywhere. I don't even have to buy it. I just have to, go outside and take a sniff. It really is that bad. Not as bad as San Francisco, but pretty bad. I never got into drugs, and I never got into them. None of my friends never got into it, my music circle of friends, and we're all still around. I would suggest to you to stay away from them. If you're in situations where people around you are doing drugs in your band and whatnot, I would suggest to you that you think about getting yourself a new band. Because in the long term, from a financial standpoint, from a success, just a life standpoint, that is the type of people that is better for you to do business with. Drugs make people act erratically, irrationally, and leads to other situations, not just death, but also violence as well. So just, my point is, stay away from it. Just use the passing of Taylor as a cautionary tale to sort of remind you that maybe that's not the way to go. People will teach you two things. They'll teach you what to do and what not to do. That's been my standard modus operandi in my life, my thinking. People teach you two things, what to do and what not to do. Now, Taylor, he taught us what to do in terms of achieving excellence, in terms of his musicianship, his performance. He taught us what not to do in terms of his personal life and his drug taking. So take that to heart and think about it today. And I will see you guys on the live stream this Sunday. Take care. Bye-bye.